Hello, everyone. It is Dr. Nick, your favorite personal growth coach, and welcome to another session of Adulting in My Purpose Live. You know, I'm always excited to be with you every single Wednesday when we can come and share and talk about everything adulting. So, if you are watching, tuning in for the first time, welcome to all my returning listeners and spectators out there. Welcome. Shout out to you. Welcome back. You know, this is a wonderful time that I love to come so we can share. Make sure you share. Make sure you start the watch parties. Give me some thumbs up. Show me some love. You know how we do it. Let me know that you're out there. Comment to say hello. You know, we want to know that we're here for you and we're not alone, right? So, welcome to another episode of Adulting in My Purpose. And I always start off with an official introduction for those that may not know who I am. I'm Dr. Nicole Rankin, better known as Dr. Nick. I'm a certified personal growth coach, and my mission really is to help young leaders truly discover who they are, clarify their vision, and truly get a solid plan for the next steps in life. You know, with that, I've developed this system called Adulting in My Purpose. It's a journey of self discovery to help young leaders, millennials, to navigate this complex world. And it is compiled in a journal. We have a course, and we have just built this true momentum and movement of young people that are committed and dedicated to truly finding their purpose and living their life on purpose, and then be adulting in their purpose. So each week, we do this session every Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, where either I am doing some teaching on different topics, or we're bringing some amazing subject matter experts to talk about different areas of life: mental health, physical health, finances, home ownership. If you're going through it as a young person, we are talking about it here on this platform. But then another segment that I'm always excited about is our Millennials Making Moves. And that is what we have here tonight. We have another exciting, amazing young millennial who is out there making moves, doing his thing. So again, let's get started. We be sure to like, share, start a watch party, and make sure you say hello in the comments and say hello to me. So today we have another amazing millennial making moves. We have Barion McQueen, and Barion is a serial entrepreneur and a branding specialist with years of hands-on experience in helping aspiring startups pave their way to professional career success. He serves as a real estate investor, a business consultant who excels at the art of building positive brand identity with effective social media campaigns and digital marketing strategies. Now, we all know that if you are not in the digital space as a business owner, you're missing out. You're leaving money on the table. So Barion is an avid seeker of knowledge and a zealous author and speaker who pins down his professional insights to direct and inspire young entrepreneurs. His brand, he is known as the Brand Castle. So we're going to hear more about all that he do. Let's welcome Barion to Adulting in My Purpose. Welcome.
Yes. Love that introduction. Love that.
Oh, yes, because
That
you
that
are the
energy
man.
got me feeling good.
I love it. I love it. That's what happens when you out there making moves. You make me excited.
That's good. That's good.
So we're excited to have you. Welcome to Adulting in My Purpose. So Barry, you know, tell the audience a little bit about your path, how you got started, and how did you get to where you are today?
So for most people who really know me, I used to be a big time rapper back in the day, and I retired from the music business. So what it was a lot of the stuff we were doing as independent artists, there was no name for it. You know, now we call it
Mm.
branding, but we didn't know what it was called back then. We just jumped right into it. So we were been doing logos and websites and getting brand deals and sponsorships, but the word branding wasn't really a word back then. So, I met one of my friends and he said, "You know what you are, man? You're a branding specialist. You need to run with that. You've been doing that for over 20 years at such a young age. Like that's what you should focus on." And I just never realized that's what I had been doing all of this time. So, uh,
Awesome.
this branding thing just came so natural. You know, I'm so excited to work with people that got a new, fresh idea, and they come to me and they say, Baron, I want to open a taco truck. What do I do? Right. So I mean, just to be able to work with them from the beginning before they even had a website or a logo, and to just see them have their dream come to fruition, it feels like I grew in that journey with them,
Yeah.
being there from the beginning. So I'm a little bit more passionate about the people who are just starting out versus, I have some bigger clients that's already established, but I wasn't in the beginning, so it was just like I just kind of came in to help it grow. So that's pretty much my story. But this branding thing, I've been doing it and didn't know what it was called.
That, and it's interesting because even as new entrepreneurs and seasoned entrepreneurs, there are concepts that evolve, and so now that is like a buzzword. It's
Yeah,
branding. It's
yeah,
you got to have your social media brand identity and all of these
that's a
words.
fact.
So let's kind of park right there a little bit and tell us a little bit more. Like, what is branding and why is it important to a business? And why are you so passionate about it?
I think what people confuse, branding and the whole brand identity is they think that's the logo, right? So
Mm,
they like, oh, I got my branding ready, I got a logo already, and it's like it's more than just the logo, right? So it's certain colors that you can use that make customers feel a certain way. So if you ever look at what the big brands do, a lot of them always use blue as a color because
mhm,
blue is a corporate color. People that use red, that's a really bold color. So when you talk about brand identity, it's deeper than just the logo, right? It's
mhm.
what's your company's message and what do these different colors as a whole represent. So it's a little more in depth than just the logo. That's the start of it. But when we talk about brand identity, we really want to focus on what's your brand's message and what are you trying to promote.
I love that. I love that. So, you're a young man doing it out in the streets and
Man,
living your life. I love it.
yeah.
So share, what are some of the biggest challenges that you have found being a millennial and just establishing yourself in the world?
So I think for me, the hardest thing was because I felt like I always had a wealth of knowledge, but because I had two things going against me, right? So when I'm going into these meetings with these big people, one, I'm young, and the second, I'm black. So
Mm,
you got two different things that I gotta almost disarm these people before I can even really tell them what my value is, right? So
wow.
I tell these young entrepreneurs, you fight in a different battle when you go into these with these big corporations and you want to get these really big accounts. You have to go in there understanding one, you're young, two, you're black. So the scrutiny is on you. You got to be perfect when you go in there. So that's it, man. I just wanted to be well equipped and be able to disarm those people so they couldn't use those against me when I first went in there.
I like
Because
that.
these people that are in my space, they old guys, man. They've been doing the old market, and then I'm this new guy that's coming in, and I'm here to disrupt.
I love that. I'll disrupt. I love that. So how has, being a millennial kind of impact that process that you talk about, this disruption process? How has that been in your life and in your business as well?
I think for me, so I was born in 1985. So
Mm,
everybody thinks I'm
yeah.
21, 22. I'm 35 actually,
Okay.
right? So I'm
Okay.
in a good space where I kind of understand the new generation and then I
Mhm.
kind of understand the old. So it's really easy for me to navigate between both and kind of bridge those together.
Okay. I like that. And as I said, with the thing about millennials, you all get a bad rap. They just kind of lump you all in,
Yeah, yeah,
in a category.
that's a
And
fact.
y'all get a bad rap. But then you have the spectrum where you have some older millennials that kind of gravitate more to our Gen Xers because you're in that cusp. But then you have the younger
Correct.
millennials that gravitate to the Gen Zers. So, as you are growing, you are establishing yourself, you're becoming a leader of yourself and of your business. What would you say would be some things or tools or strategies to tell other leaders how to engage with our younger generation, with our millennials, and even with our younger Gen Zers?
I think it's more of just actually just listening and understanding. Some of their insight, it might not be what you're used to, but you got to change with the times in these eras. So the digital age wasn't big, right, in marketing. So Google hadn't been around that long and things like that. So I think rather than really hating on the younger generation. I think if they just kind of listen and understand, they probably could learn something that, and vice versa. Same thing with the younger people to an older
Mhm.
generation. I think if they just sit and listen and collaborate more, we could bridge that gap.
I like that. So, what are some of the best ways? Because we talked about that, and I do this in teaching. I do a teaching with or leaders, educators, and how to bridge that gap, and how to be open, and how to change. It's really a mindset shift, right?
Mhm.
In how you do things. So, what are some of the best ways you found to keep yourself motivated and engaged in the process of what you're doing?
I think so. My youngest sister is 19, right?
Mhm.
So that's like my secret weapon to be up to date with the newer generation, right? So if
Okay.
I'm kind of old, I have an old soul. I'm not
Oh,
old, I don't think, but my soul is really old. So
okay, like, you're not old at all. Okay, let's not throw that out there. You said you was
I
35.
feel I feel old, right? So that's my secret weapon. My sister's 19, man, and I really engage with her a lot just on what's going on, what's the newest trends, what's because these are all things that I need to collect data, right? To be
Mhm,
effective for what I do from a
mhm,
marketing standpoint.
mhm,
I've run a lot of test groups with the younger generation because I need to understand how they navigate the internet. They're the
mhm,
people that spend the most money online. So I do these test groups just they don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm just like, hey, I just need you to go and look up this website, and I need to see how they navigate because the big corporations pay really good money for the data.
mm,
So it's super important to target the people who use these apps the most. And I think that's one thing that people don't understand. Like these people are on the computer all day or they on their phones all day. And if
mhm,
you understand how they run data or how they shop or how they search and how they do all of these things, it's going to be beneficial to you and your business to get that data. So I get that data and I can provide that to my clients, almost having like my own little study group of my
mhm.
sister and her friends, and so it works for me.
Wow, that is awesome. So, as an entrepreneur, we know there's the ups and there's definitely the downs, and there are
Yes,
probably more downs than there are ups at sometimes in
that's
some
a fact.
seasons of your business cycle. So, what do you do to keep you inspired and keep you going?
So I'll give you a story. So I own a couple companies. The Brand Castle being that was my number one company. That's a digital marketing agency. We do SEO, we do social media management, website design, logo design, brand identity. We do all of those things. And then I also own a real estate photography company here in South Florida.
Okay.
A story though, when COVID hit, the majority of my clients were business owners, right? So when COVID hit, they straight up told me, Baron, we don't know how we're going to pay you. We barely going to be able to keep the doors open. So I literally lost every client when COVID hit from a marketing standpoint.
Wow.
But my real estate photography company blew up. So it was just like, I always tell people, don't limit yourself. Do as much as you can do. Like, so had I not had that to be able to pivot, I probably would be in a different situation. Things are getting back better,
Mm,
but this entrepreneurship journey is not easy. It's a lot of time I lose away from family and my wife and traveling and things like that because
mhm,
I work for me, so I gotta always be available and I gotta always make sure I'm on top of everything. But it's a tough journey. It's not for everybody, and I'm cool with saying that. And some people are cool with knowing that they don't have what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
mhm, mhm. And that's total facts. So even in that vein, what are some of the qualities that you would say is needed? Let's say top 5 qualities needed for an entrepreneur to
Oof.
truly be successful.
I would say consistency.
Mhm,
Because for me, I think a lot of people have uh the know-how or the want to work for themselves and be an entrepreneur, but a lot of people just never start.
mm,
I've got family members that always come to me with great ideas. Oh, Baron, I know you're a marketing guy. Tell me what you think of this. But they never start, and I think that's half of the battle. Like once you get started, So I would say starting is super important. And then once you do start, it's about being consistent. And then once you start being consistent and forming mindset habits that change how you do everything else, you'll
Mhm.
be good. And then I will say, lastly, is to not just be busy, right? So as entrepreneurs, everybody want to always seem like they busy, but they not doing work that's dollar productive. So for me, I don't do dollar. If it's not dollar productive, I don't do it. I'll hire a virtual assistant to do some stuff if it's not dollar productive. And I think that's a misconception that people just, you seem so busy and you just spinning your wheels and doing all these things, but it's not making you no money. It's just busy work. So
Mhm.
those are my top three, man. Start, be consistent, and force some good habits, and then do some dollar productive things.
That's golden right there. I hope you guys are out there listening and taking notes. As an entrepreneur myself, I can say amen to all of that because when I first started, I was one of those, and I can be transparent and open. I was one of those that was just busy. And
Right.
because I felt that I had to be doing stuff, but then I got wiser and I got people in my circle to help me with that process and that learning process. So, the law of priority says activities doesn't necessarily mean accomplishment.
I
So
like that.
you got to understand what activities you're doing, and as you said, what you said, dollar making activities, right?
Yeah, you know what I think it is as entrepreneurs, we feel like if we didn't do it, it's not going to be done right, right? So it's hard
Mhm.
for us to delegate and let go of the reins a little bit and
Yeah.
ask for help too. So I think that's why
Facts.
we find ourselves just getting so busy because we want to do it all. So
Facts.
and that was one thing I struggled with. I'm like, I need to make sure it's going to be done in the
Mhm.
quality that I would do it, and I just had to let go and trust some other people and get some help. Like not being scared to ask for help because we so prideful. We don't want to ask for help. People already think we crazy for being entrepreneurs, right? So asking for help is just like why you need help, right? So but I
Yeah.
think that's where that busyness comes from. So once you get through that, it'll take a while to get there, but I've got more productive once I started putting people in place that could help.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. So you talked about, your inspiration and things that you do. What do you have like what role does a mentor or coach or a role model play in your life?
Honestly, I wish I had those things earlier on. I
Mhm.
always tell people now. So I've partnered with this company called Mentor Cam, which I'm actually doing this for other people. But I wish I had like a mentor or somebody that I could look up to. So it was some people in my family that actually started some businesses and kind of motivate me. I wouldn't call them my mentors, but I kind of used them as motivation that, this could possibly happen. You can take
Mhm.
an idea, you can pursue your dreams and actually, grow a business. So I never really had a mentor. I always was a sports fan of people like Michael Jordan, but I probably looked up to people like Jay-Z because I was a musician before, right? So to see
Mhm.
somebody transition from that music industry and then really focus on business, that's what I wanted to do. So he was the perfect model. The Jay-Z's, the Diddy's, the Dr. Dre's, those people are all super motivators for me. Not personal mentors, but people that I aspired to be like.
Absolutely. And the thing with mentors and coaches, a lot of times most people find them in people who they see,
Yeah,
meet celebrities, or even in a book.
yeah,
That sometimes who you find in a book or that will inspire you will be your first mentor. So I love that. The fact that you have someone to look up to, I think
yeah.
that is the key. I love that. So when you think about just adulting in your purpose and finding your purpose and living the life, because you're doing it. You transitioned from music, and that's something that you love, to now I can just tell, just even in your conversation, the passion that you have for your business and the things that you do. What advice would you give to some of the other young people out there like yourself or younger, who are out there just trying to figure it out, trying to find their purpose, trying to figure out what is it that they want to do in the world and the impact that they want to have? What advice would you give to them?
I would definitely tell them to not listen to everybody, right? So
Mm,
as an entrepreneur, I mean, even when I was wanting to do music, everybody was like, why would you want to do music? You need to go to college, you need to do all of these things. And
mhm,
it just that wasn't my passion. I was a straight A student all of my life. But when I
mhm,
got to college, I was like, I'm not gonna ever use this. And I dropped out my junior year. People don't know I never finished college. I left my junior year. I went to University of Delaware for civil engineering. And I think that's the thing, everybody's not gonna understand what you're doing because it's your vision. So you can't let that deter you from the vision. Everybody not gonna get it in the beginning, and you gotta be okay with that. And you just show and prove. So after a while, they'll see the vision once it comes to fruition. But I always tell people, don't expect everybody to get it because it's not their
mm,
vision, it's your vision. So
uh-huh.
you just show and prove.
That right there is golden. That is like golden advice. So even in I want you to kind of expound on that because you do have a lot of young people. I do a lot of mentoring and I talk to a lot of young people and they're in that place where, they the life that they think they want to lead is based on what other people are telling them to lead.
Mm.
So, how did you get the resolve in yourself, especially at that young age, to say that you're not going to listen to other people and you're going to find that path for yourself? How did you get to that place?
Nobody in my family was a millionaire. So
Mm,
to me, it's like I can hear everything y'all saying and go to college and get the degree and school this, and none of y'all are millionaires.
mm,
So it's like you guys, I can't take advice from people who haven't done what I'm trying to do. So you see my shirt, I'm a millionaire in training right now, right? So
I love
that's
it.
the goal. Like I want to be the first millionaire in my family. None of you guys are millionaires. So I'm going to take what you say out of respect. I'm going to listen. And they sometimes might offer some advice that I could
Mhm,
take heed to, but they not on the journey in the path that I'm on. So I got to kind of tune out some of that stuff and take what I need from it, and it doesn't apply to me. None of y'all are millionaires, so clearly what you guys didn't work. So I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, and that's the best advice I could give to them.
I I love that. Right there. Again, you are dropping way gold. Way the gold is there because it's about, Jim Rohn says you're the average of the five people closest to you. Right.
Mm,
So in thinking about if you're deciding that resolve within yourself that you want to be a millionaire, but you hanging around thousandaires,
hundred there right?
hundred hundredaire,
Right, exactly.
something is something not going, it doesn't match up. So you
Yeah,
need to have those people and be around those people who are succeeding, doing the things that you want to do and succeeding at it, that you can glean from, that you can learn from, that you can share that path and that journey. So I love that. I love your mindset, dude. You're gonna
that's
be
it,
there. I,
man.
I'm
I'm
ex- I,
on it, man. I
I'm
pride myself.
excited.
I tell people all the time I'm the brokest person in my circle, and I love
I
it.
love it.
It
Yes.
took a while to get there, but I'm the brokest person in my circle. So I want to really, I can't hang with the same people that I used to hang with.
Yep.
The conversations aren't even the same anymore. It's
Mhm.
just like, people. I have conversations with some of my friends, and they still stuck on what we used to do, and I'm like, man, I'm not. That's not me no more. I'm married now. Like I got a family. Like I don't want to talk about the old stuff we used to do, and they want to be stuck reminiscing, and I'm on a completely other. I'm not even that guy anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
The
I
circle
l-
had to change.
I love that, and that's so critical in your journey, and it's making sure that your inner circle is matching where you want to go, as
Mm,
opposed to where you are,
that's
and
it.
and that right there, and the fact that you have grasped that, I'm excited to the day when that millionaire in training
Yeah,
turns and you put on that new one and says, I'm a
billion.
multi-millionaire
It's
because
gonna
it's
say bill. It's
coming.
gonna say billionaire in
It's gonna
training,
say
right?
billionaire. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm excited
definitely,
for that day for you. So
definitely.
it's gonna be a wonderful thing. So, on this journey that you had, you got big dreams, big hopes, big desires, big aspirations. As I said, it's a up and down journey. You're gonna have your highs, you're gonna have your lows. So, what are some of the things that you do to kind of help you keep moving forward in this process?
I change my scenery sometimes.
Hmm.
So most people don't know. I'm originally from Delaware. I
Okay.
relocated to South Florida in 2013. Just as a kid, I always wanted to live in Florida, and I was working at a civil engineering firm back in Delaware, and I just was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. This can't be my life. And I left. I packed my car up. Had no idea what I was going to do when I got to Florida. I called my best friend. I'm like, you want to take this ride with me? You know, we'll make sure you fly back, but I need somebody to ride with me. He's like, yo, let's do it. I came to Florida, didn't know what I was going to do, but I just knew I had to get out of it. I just had to change the scenery. So I think
Mhm.
now in business, I think it's necessary. Like me and my wife, we might still go somewhere in Florida, but it's just different from where we live. And we'll just go rent a house somewhere for the weekend. It's just a change of scenery for me. And it just feel
Mhm.
like a reset sometimes. You know, you get in a routine and you just need to put some fresh eyes on something. So the scenery, I always just change it every once in a while. Just go somewhere different where nobody knows you. Even if we just go and stay in the hotel or just
Mhm.
hang out in some of these small cities nobody's ever heard of. I just changed my scenery. I got married in Ireland, so like,
And I awesome.
yeah. So
Uh,
just change the scenery is good. It's a good reset. It's a fresh, and then when you come back to where you are, you should be motivated to get right back to work and get focused. And I always recommend that change the scenery. Like I don't
Changes.
even like working in the same place. Like when I'm working from home too much, I just go to the office sometimes. I'm just like, no, I gotta go to the office and work. I feel like
Mhm.
I'm doing too much at home, taking too many trips to the kitchen, and I'm doing too much, right? So I just gotta change the scenery sometimes.
I like that. Change the scenery. So you talk about, that's all a part of just doing what you need to do to get from where you are to where you want to go. And for me, I'm a personal growth coach, as you know, and I said earlier, what I do is help young people like yourself and even younger obtain the mindset, the soft skills that we
Okay.
need that are not taught in school. Nobody
Mm,
teaches you how to be self-aware. Nobody teaches you how to learn your strengths, and nobody teaches you how to build relationships. Right. So
right.
we're focusing on this and not that personal growth and development. So for you, when you think about your own personal growth and development, what does that look like for you?
I think for me, my I tell my wife all the time, I had to go through a lot before you got this man you married, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was in the music business, right? So I just was conditioned to live in a certain lifestyle because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. That's what the music industry does to you. You out late nights, you in the clubs, you in the studio, you don't sleep, and you just complete that cycle, and it just wears you out. Like when I retired from music, it was the biggest weight lifted off of me, but it gave me the opportunity to really grow up. Like I was so immature, and I tell my wife all the time, I was like, I am this way for you now because the my end. So I don't even recognize that guy when I see these old YouTube videos from
Mm-hmm.
back in the what was I thinking? Right. So for me it's just a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking every day. It was part of the lifestyle. And as I got older and a little bit more mature and a little wiser and started working on me as a person, I didn't like that person that I used to be. So now I'm in a position when I see when I'm not doing those things, how much prosperous my life is without those things. It's like, oh, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
homeowner now, and I got a wife, and I'm living life. Like I can't complain. I'm blessed.
Amen. Awesome. I love that. I love that. What a story. What a story. And it's an amazing story because it's people go through that, right? But some people stay there. But
Yeah.
you decided that that's not what you wanted to be, that you wanted to do, be, and have more, and you took the initiative to move into doing something different. And So I commend you, and that definitely is a story of inspiration. So congratulations. So as you talked about some of the struggles that is not easy going in this journey, and there are many young people out there that are struggling, and they're facing obstacles. So can you describe maybe an obstacle that you had to face and how you overcame it?
I mean, like I said, with the COVID thing, man, I lost everything, right? So,
Mhm.
before COVID, I was doing six figures a year, just in marketing. And when COVID hit, I only had two clients that remained, and I could have just gave up, really. But I pray a lot more than I used to. And I always tell my mom's super religious. Like, I mean, she had me in church 6 days a week. I was at Mighty Men's class, Bible study, kids choir rehearsal, feed the homeless on Saturdays, and then church was on Sundays. So I had like one day off a week. So I didn't like church when I got older. I just
Mhm.
was like, I'm going away from church. I stopped going, and then the older I got, I kind of developed my own relationship with Christ, and
Mhm.
I started praying a lot more. And it's a lot of things that I think us as just people, not even just entrepreneurs, I think we be trying to figure it out so much that we be in God's way. So I had to kind of get out of God's way sometimes and just let Him work.
Mhm.
And I pray a lot. And I say, you know what? If it's for me, God gonna make it happen. And I just start getting out of God's way. And when I start getting out of God's way and stop trying to hustle and rustle and figure it out for myself, man, he always come through. So I tell people prayer works. It works.
Amen. That is awesome. Are you guys listening in out there?
It
Are
works.
you you guys listening out there? He is giving you some major, major, major game changers in your life, in your business, in where you are in your process, and just how to think, and some of the things to do. And that's an amazing thing that you do have that spiritual life, because I know many young people struggle with that, and understanding or having that higher power, or whatever that is to you. So I love the fact that you're unashamed, right, of where your strength and power comes from. And your mom knew what she was doing, taking you to church 7 days out the
It's some
week.
old seeds
Look,
still
she
in there.
knew what
Yeah,
she was doing. The word said,
yeah.
train a child.
She put some seeds in there that they
That's
they
right.
they bloomed later on, but
Absolutely.
it took me finding it on my own and really understanding that. And I'm not a really super religious guy. I'm definitely
Yeah.
spiritual, and I
Mhm.
tell people whatever you believe in, you better believe in something.
Absolutely. It's all about the relationship.
That's it.
I love it. Well, kudos to mom if you're watching out there. Good job.
That's my girl.
I love it. Awesome. So as you talk about church, and think about, especially young people, millennials, many of their characteristics and generalizations of the generation is that they're wanting to have something that's bigger than themselves, be a part of something that's bigger than them. So when you think about your life, what is that big thing, whether it's for yourself, your family, or maybe in the community? What are some of the things that you see or are doing or you want to do?
I really so my sister, my oldest sister, she's in the DMV area, and she's working on her own school right now. And I'm
Okay.
on the board of directors for her school. But she came to me with this because she's working on a program for high school students. So when you graduate from her school, you already leave with a degree. It's
Yes.
strictly for entrepreneurs. So I think it's from grades seventh through 12th. And it was super important to me because, like you said, a lot of the stuff and the tools that we need in today's world, they don't teach that in school. They
Hmm.
teach you about a bunch of old presidents and a bunch of stuff that you're not going to use, especially us in our community. So I think
Hmm.
the fact that a lot of the trade schools are gone, and you can't. I went to a vocational high school where you had to learn a trade, whether it was carpentry, um, plumbing. You had a trade that you can learn to be able to provide for your family. Those are gone now, right? So I
Mhm.
think they forcing us to go to college, and then we don't have no trades, right? And then the other people are going to get work for their parents' company, and they got a leg up, and it's different. So
Yep.
for me, when my sister came to me with this school, I'm like, yo, this our community needs this. Like, we need trade schools, we need more entrepreneurs, we need more financial literacy, we need all of these resources that I don't think we even know, like because our parents wasn't taught it, because their parents didn't teach them, and I think it's we gotta really break the cycle.
I love that. I love that. And as it's cliche, but it's truth that our young people are our future. So we have to invest in them to and break these generational cycles that we have created and perpetuate through our culture. So we can have more people with that billionaire shirt that's
Yeah,
coming, right?
yeah, that's it.
So we can ingrain some of the principles and strategies. So I love that. So kudos to your sister and you for that venture and praying that God continues to open the doors as you guys build that out. That's going to
Yes,
be awesome. So please, we'll stay connected and see how that goes.
definitely.
So let me ask you when. Let's see. If you could change one thing in the world, I know there's many, but if
Mhm.
you could change just one, what would that be and why?
Mm. I could change one thing. It would probably be because of the climate that we're in today.
Mhm.
Is I will really want to put a reset on everything, that everybody
Mm.
had equal opportunities. Because no matter how much little stimulus money they keep throwing at us, we always behind as a culture, as a
Mhm.
community, as Black people. We always behind. So if I could reset that and everybody started at the same, I think we'd be better off.
I
That would
like
be
that.
because a lot of we already know how the game goes. It's been this way since our parents, our grandparents. We conditioned that way. So I think,
Yeah.
we the one people that can't be deported, right? They can't send us back to Africa. So I think if we could start that over and reset that, where everybody had a fresh start and everything was equal and there wasn't no imbalance and inferiority with these racial tensions, that's what
Mhm.
it would be for me. I think that would make the
Amazing.
world better, and because racism is a taught behavior.
Mhm.
They're not born.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a powerful thing. And so, even in thinking about that, what are some of the things? Because we know it's an embedded thing, and it's a taught thing, it's a systemic thing. So, what are the things that, as a young Black man growing up in the world? What are some of the things that you do that you can share with the others to help you navigate that and not look at that as to say as an excuse or something that keeps you moving to have that higher aspirations for yourself.
So I think us as minorities and people of color,
Hmm.
I think we have to be way more prepared than the average person, right? So one of my good friends, Will, he always tells us about uh, when success happens is when preparation meets opportunity. And
Hmm.
if you prepared, you got to be prepared. You can't go and navigate your journey without being prepared. You got to do a lot of, you got to be over prepared. Where some of these people that's less qualified, and anybody, if you're in a job and you see people that are less qualified than you, that's not smarter than you, and they always still feel like they got the leg up, right? Because of the color of their skin or who they know. We just got to be prepared. We got to,
Hmm.
and I think the thing in our community is it's a lack of support that I don't think we trust each other because I think we still broken, right? So I
Hmm.
think we don't trust each other. Um, you know, when Black people get money, their lawyer's always white, right?
Facts.
And it sucks because it's like we want to support our own, but we don't have the infrastructure to be able to be sustainable, right? So I tried to do these things myself. I tried to shop at some black grocery stores. There's one in Florida, right? But
Mhm.
why, but it's the smallest and it's lacking so much stuff and the prices are so high. And it's like, this is why we can't, it's hard to support because we don't have what we need, right? There's
Mhm.
one thing, there's one black owned bank
Wow.
in Florida. So like if I need to go take cash out, I have to drive all the way to Miami. I'm in
Wow.
Fort Lauderdale, right? So I
Mhm.
think it's these things, that as a community, we got to really work on doing for our people. All the other communities do it. The Jewish community does it. The Arab community does it. The Chinese people do it. I mean, we the only people that don't do it. Our dollar only circulates one time in the black community. Everybody else is 8 to 12 times. The Jewish dollar is like 14 times that thing
Mhm.
rotates. So it's
Mhm.
like,
Facts.
but that's why I said if I could change one thing, that's why I said it would be a level playing field, just for that reason alone.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And you're dropping just even thoughts to give help us, have that awareness
Yeah,
of where we are, because it starts with the awareness that we of where we are, but where we can go. And then putting the infrastructure, as you said, in place and working together.
that's it.
Working together to do that. So that's amazing. So
We need
I
a
love.
grocery store, we need a
Yep.
school, a hospital, and what's the other thing? And the bank.
And the bank. Yep.
That's it. The four
Absolutely.
pillars, and we don't have them. So
Absolutely.
we come
Absolutely.
together and can get them. I mean, and I think the scariest thing is some of us have been so burnt by our own people that the
Mm,
trust is not there, right? So,
right.
and I'm a believer. I had a guy that was building a shed in my backyard. I gave this guy $2,000 down, and he disappeared.
Wow.
Never came back to do the work. And
Mhm.
we had really great conversations, and I was like, you know what, I really want to help you grow your business with marketing. You do really great work. Like I would do your marketing and do consultations for free because I want to help my people, right? So even during the whole George Floyd thing, Yahoo Finance did this big write up on me because I was giving out free consultation for Black business owners for
Mhm.
business
Awesome.
consulting. Of course,
Awesome.
people hit me up like, "Oh, is this just something you doing for Black people?" Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. If you're not Black, no, I can't help you. You have to pay. And I had to take that stance because I really wanted to help my people,
Yeah.
especially if they're a business owner and they're trying to do something that's going to help the community. Like it wasn't a money play for me. It was like, how can I give back at the time when everything was so heightened and the George Floyd and the protests and all of this was going on? So I wanted to contribute. How could I
Mhm.
contribute? So I was like, I can at least, if I can't do it monetary, I can dedicate some time to give back. So
Awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I love it. So you just dropping a lot of gold and causing everyone, I know me, causing the audience to just think of where we are even as a culture and the things that we
yeah,
can do as a people to strengthen who we are and know who we are, and knowing where we came from and where we can, and the possibilities that are out there for us. It's that thought process of where you, if you have the exposure, if you have the understanding of where you can go, that helps your mind even to imagine
yes,
about being able to go there. So it's amazing that you're already there, and you're thinking about that and thinking about ways not only to give back and to help, and to help build those infrastructures and things we need to be a better people and better culture across the board. So thank you for that. And it's a great thing when when you're, even as entrepreneur, just in life, it's just not about just to take, right? It's
right.
about what are you going to give back, and
Mm,
how are you going to help others. The quote that Jim Rohn says, the more you help others get what they want, the more you get what you want. That's facts, right?
I believe that.
it,
That's what I
it,
always tell people. Man. I always lead with value first, and I worry about the money later.
what you say? Say that again, say that again.
I
Lead.
lead with value first, and then I get the money later.
Well, lead with value first and get the money later. I love.
Anybody who's ever worked with me knows I over deliver because I want to always keep my face clean and I want to make sure I over deliver. So when I first started the Brand Castle, I used to give businesses free audits on their websites, right? So I would do a free audit whether you hire me or not. I always led with value. So regardless if they was going to be a customer or they wasn't, I was giving them something that was valuable to them, and then
Mhm.
they can determine if they want to take that and maybe go to another company or take that and have a conversation. So that's why I always tell people, lead with value first and the money will come.
Lead with value and the money will come. Awesome. I love that. Great philosophy for an entrepreneur that's serious about building. And
Yes.
that's the key. If there's myself and three other partners co-found the Black Entrepreneurs Institute, where we help
Oh,
uh,
wow.
Black entrepreneurs and build those systems that they need.
Mm,
And the things that you're saying are things that we teach them and tell them. And we have a eight
good.
week boot camp that we put them through,
Oh,
and we
wow.
help them with that process. So it's just amazing that as you're speaking this is real stuff, guys. So I
Yeah.
hope you guys are taking notes because he is dropping major nuggets that people
Where are
can.
you located?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
just right
very
above you.
far.
Yep, yep.
Well, I'm
So
out there. I got family out there, so I'm out there a lot.
okay, awesome, awesome. So this has been great. This has been amazing conversation that we have been having, guys. Hope this has been valuable to you, the listeners. So as we are wrapping up, what are you reading? What are you reading or listening to? What are you reading these days?
So I actually was reading the last book I was reading was a book by Grant Cardone called Sell or Be Sold. And I've
Celebi.
just been just into this book. He's out here in Miami, so I see him a lot. He's like
Mhm.
billboards is on every exit. So I never was familiar with him until maybe 2019. I went to his 10x Growth Con that he had
Mhm.
and really connected with some great people down there. So that was really great. But I'm reading his book, Sell or Be Sold, right now.
I love it. I like Grant too.
I'm
Great,
working on
great,
my second.
great
I'm
presenter.
working on my second book.
Awesome.
Be the
Awesome. All right.
exclusive. The name of the second book. Nobody
They up.
knows this yet. This is an exclusive.
Can I put it up on the screen?
You can put it up on the screen.
I will
The
put
name
it
of
up
this
on the
new
screen. You
book
got the exclusive right here on Adulting in My Purpose. It is.
called "Social Media Is Not Real."
Social media is not real. Awesome. Social media is not real. Exclusive book. And it's soon to be released when?
I really just started writing it. So my last book was "Why Won't My Business Grow?" We was able to
Okay.
get on Amazon's bestseller, but that was more for helping people grow their business. But this was a little bit personal because I'm in this entrepreneur space and it's a lot of people online who social media is really like a highlight reel. Nobody really showcases the losses, right? It's always the wins. I'm in a Lamborghini, I'm on a yacht, I'm in the
Right.
penthouse.
Right.
And some people who are impressionable see that and they think that's what entrepreneurship is. So I've really started just working on these chapters to just let them know, social media is not real,
I like
not real
that.
life. So
Facts.
really want to
Facts.
get some real life in people and let them know, you can go outside and it's a big world out here and travel and when you start traveling and going to some of these other countries, you really see how ignorant we are here in America. Um,
Mhm.
just like I said, I got married in Ireland and that country is beautiful. If I can find a place in Ireland, I will definitely get me a little apartment or something there. Beautiful country,
Mhm.
beautiful people. But social media is not real.
I love it. I can't wait for that. So go
Yes.
ahead and tell the audience if we're wanting to get in touch with you, how can we find you? Where are you on how do we get in touch with you?
So my main website is BarionMcQueen.com, BARI. Look at you all prepped and ready.
Be
That's my
prepared.
social media handle everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Facebook, Barion McQueen everywhere. If you want to get in touch with me, you can get my book is on my site. All my social media links are there. Subscribe to my YouTube. I actually finally started getting active this year on YouTube, just giving these kind of like how we just having these talks, just giving these gems and just real stuff. It's not no highly produced YouTube channel. I just want to give people the information. And
Yeah.
as we continue to grow, maybe the production value will increase. But that
Well,
was a
that's
personal goal of
excellent.
mine. I really wanted to really start getting on YouTube and just dropping these videos because I was supposed to do it in 2020. And I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. I got plenty of time to do it. And I just didn't do it. So I was
Yeah.
just procrastinating. But we active 2021.
I love it. So, guys, make sure you go out, make sure you support BarionMcQueen.com. Go on there, follow, like, share, get on his YouTube. Let's up his subscribers, support. He is giving you, as you can see, gems, especially for those that are aspiring entrepreneurs. If you're in that rim and needing information, he has a wealth of knowledge to help you in that process. So Barry, it has been great.
I
I
appreciate this.
I appreciate you and appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I thank you for coming on and just having a conversation with me and sharing just who you are with the audience and where you are in your journey, how you got there. You gave some great tips and strategies and golden nuggets. I mean, truly, truly inspiration.
Appreciate the
Definitely.
opportunity and thank you for letting me share on your platform. I tell people all the time, people are like, oh man, I want to. So before COVID, I was booked for like some TED Talks and a bunch of
Mhm.
stages, and I had to give a lot of deposit money back
Yep.
to people.
Trust me, I know.
Um, so, from the virtual space, I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, like, I just love to give the information. So I'm willing to do everybody's show and share with people's platform and audiences. And if I can help one person, I did the job.
Absolutely, I agree, and I believe you helped more than one today. So we'll have, if you missed this live, we'll have some replays out there for you, so you can go back and listen to all the good stuff that he gave. So my last question is a question that I ask every guest that comes on to Adulting in My Purpose, and that question is, what does adulting in my purpose mean to you?
That's a good one. So for me, I think adulting in my purpose is probably being honest and transparent in everything that I do. I think in this world of smoke and mirrors everywhere, um, a lot of people not true to themselves. It's always the look in the mirror thing for me. So that would be adulting in my purpose, really being true to yourself, sticking to who you are as an individual. And you definitely have to get some sense of spirituality, wherever it could be, whoever you pray to somebody.
Mhm.
Definitely pray to
Mhm.
somebody.
Awesome. I love it. Being true to who you are. So, guys, that is our time. I hope that you truly enjoyed this just as much as I have. So, Barry, thank you again for coming on. Adulting in my purpose is really this is what this is all about. This is a movement of young leaders who are out there discovering who they are. They have their vision and they have a plan to get to the next step, then do all the things that they want to do in life. So join us next week. We'll be back here again at Wednesday,
Tuned in.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I think it's the first Wednesday of the month. So that Wednesday I'm up. So I'll come with some special teaching for you to help you in your journey. If you have any specific topics that you want me to cover, put it in the comments. Let me know. But again, make sure you join us next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And as always, be safe and be blessed. You guys take care.